Imagine falling in love, under the stars, dreaming of a future with someone. But then imagine that love, that beautiful thing, being threatened, like really threatened by traditions, like ancient traditions, and societal pressures, those expectations that can feel so heavy. That's the reality for a lot of couples, and that's the story we're going to kind of dive into today.
Yeah. It's a story about love, for sure, the power of love, but also the dark side of things, prejudice, and what people do, what lengths they go to protect what they think is honor. It's a powerful story.
It really is. It's like a reminder that these battles for love, they're still happening, even now, the 21st century. So we're going to India for this one, Rajasthan, India. There's a town there, Bhilwara, and that's where this love story starts and ends. A young couple, Pawan and Rekha, they got caught in this web, societal expectations, the caste system, all that. It almost tore them apart.
Yeah, absolutely. Their story, it's like a tiny little window into this huge struggle. I mean, countless people face this, right? Challenging these norms, these social norms. It makes you think about prejudice, how it leads to violence, to people controlling others, and all in the name of family. That's the crazy part.
So Pawan, he was 22, a shopkeeper, ambitious guy. He fell in love with Rekha. She was 19, a college student, full of life. They had this connection, you could just tell. Their dreams, they were like all tangled up together. But right away there was a problem, a big problem. Something so deep in their society, you could have just crushed their happiness.
Yeah, this wasn't just parents not liking each other, This was about caste. That system, it's everywhere in their lives. Social standing, jobs, even who you can marry. It's a big deal.
So Pawan, he was considered lower caste. And Rekha, her family, they were upper caste. That difference, that was the whole problem. Her family, they sang the relationship as this, like, attack on their reputation, like it was dishonoring them.
Yeah, family honor, people talk about it like it's a good thing, but it can be really messed up. It's like all the pressure is on the women. They got to uphold the family's image. It controls them, doesn't let them make their own choices.
And that's what happened to Rekha. Her family, they just kept pushing her. End it. They thought Pawan was beneath them, someone who would bring them down. It wasn't just words. You could feel it, like this pressure, this heavy atmosphere around them.
It's got to be tough, being in love, but everyone's telling you it's wrong, shameful even. And it's the people you love saying that. It's heartbreaking.
They were stuck. Pawan and Rekha, their love, their families, society pushing down on them. But they didn't give up.
That shows you how strong they were. They said, no, we're not letting society tell us what to do. They believed in their love, thought it could overcome anything, even this prejudice that goes back, I don't know how many years.
So they made a choice, a risky choice. It seemed like their only way out. They eloped, ran away. They wanted to get away from their families, from all that pressure, build a life together, just the two of them, free. So one night, June 2017, they slipped out of Bhilwara, went to a nearby city, hoping for the best, but also, I bet, scared.
Yeah, you got to feel for them. They put everything on the line for their love, believed it was enough. But, fairy tales, they don't always come true.
Welcome to CrimePod Castle's Twisted Love series.
So, this deep dive, it's going to take us into what happened next. After Pawan and Rekha ran away, how their love, how it got twisted up with all these other forces.
Because when they disappeared, it wasn't quiet. Back in Bhilwara, their families, they went nuts. Imagine it, right? All the whispers, the accusations, people blaming each other. For Rekha's family, it was more than their daughter running away. It was like this attack on them, their status, their honor.
Right, and that feeling, that anger, it set off a chain reaction and, well, let's just say it didn't end well.
They went to the police, filed a missing persons report, but they didn't just sit around waiting. They had to do something. So they started their own search. They had to find Rekha, bring her back, whatever it took.
There's a desperation there, like they had to be in control. Rekha, their daughter, making her own choices. No way. They thought their family's honor was more important than her happiness.
Weeks went by, and their search just got bigger. The whole town, Bhilwara, you could feel it. Suspicion, anger, like a storm was coming.
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? You challenge the rules, the old ways of doing things, and people come after you, especially in places where family honor, it's everything.
They started focusing on Pawan's family. They thought they must have helped them escape. It wasn't just about Rekha anymore. It was about getting even, making things right. And that's when things went really wrong.
Blaming Pawan's family, that's a bad sign. It's like they needed someone to punish, to make them feel better. But it's not solving the problem, right?
And you know what? That search, it led to a confrontation, one that changed everything, destroyed lives. And it showed everyone just how dark things can get when tradition and prejudice, when they take over.
2 weeks, that's all they had. 2 weeks freedom of being together. Then it all got ripped away. Pawan and Rekha, they thought they were safe. But Rekha's family, they are relentless. They had to find her no matter what.
It's like something out of a movie, right?
Yeah.
You think you've escaped, but they're still coming. You can't outrun them. Must have been terrifying. Their dreams, their whole future, it was about to become a nightmare.
And this wasn't some accident, This was planned. They tracked them down, found them in this small town, and they went after them. It's like scary how far people will go for this idea of honor.
So it happened in the middle of the day, June 2017. Rekha's father, he brought two of her cousins. They found Pawan and Rekha, and that's when it all went wrong. People who saw it, they said it was awful, brutal. Like they were full of rage, this righteous anger. It's like they thought they were doing the right thing.
And they did it in broad daylight. That tells you something, right? Like they weren't even trying to hide it. Like they thought they were above the law. That's what happens when you get this honor thing mixed up with violence.
Pawan, he didn't stand a chance. Rekha, she tried to stop them, but there was nothing she could do.
Can you imagine that? Seeing the person you love being attacked and you can't do anything? It's like she was a victim twice. Once when they killed Pawan, and then again when they took her back. They controlled her, took away her choices, didn't even let her grieve.
People saw it happen, but they were too scared to do anything. They just watched. That silence, it's like it says a lot about how much power Rekha's family had. They took Rekha back to Bhilwara. Her dreams, her heart, everything broken.
It's a reminder, of what women go through in these situations. Like, they don't even have a voice.
Pawan's death, it shook everyone, not just in Bhilwara, but the whole country. People started talking about honor killings. It was like this dark secret was finally coming out.
Yeah, India had to face it. This idea that tradition is more important than people's lives.
But the police, they got to work. They wanted to know what happened. People were scared to talk at first, but eventually they started telling the truth. And it was clear. They knew who did it, and they knew why.
Good for the police, I say. They took it seriously. Didn't let them get away with it just because of some cultural excuse. It shows that things are changing, maybe.
They arrested Rekha's father and the two cousins, charged them with murder. And their defense, you want to know what it was? They said, we had to do it for our family's honor.
That's what they always say, right? But it's just an excuse. Trying to make it sound less bad than it is. It's dangerous, that kind of thinking.
The trial, it became this huge thing. Tradition against justice. The whole country was watching. It was more than just a trial. It was like this battle of ideas. What's more important, tradition or justice?
The prosecution, they had their work cut out for them, but they did a good job. Laid it all out, step by step. What happened before the attack, the evidence, the confessions, they made it clear this wasn't just some random act of violence. It was planned. And it was all because of Pawan's caste.
Even in a courtroom, it's hard to escape those societal pressures, those beliefs that people hold on to so tightly. It makes you wonder, can justice really be served when everyone's carrying that baggage?
Of course, the defense, they tried to spin it. Said it was a crime of passion, like they just snapped,
Oh, yes.
Because Rekha ran away, shamed the family.
But come on. The way they attacked him, the fact that they went all the way to another town to find them, and they showed no remorse. None. It just didn't add up.
It's classic, though, isn't it? Trying to play on people's emotions, hoping they'll forget about the facts. But in this case, the evidence was just too strong.
Everyone was watching, the whole country. And then, in early 2018, the verdict came. Guilty. Rekha's father and those two cousins. Life in prison.
That sent a message, Loud and clear. Honor killings, no more. The law, it's there to protect everyone, even if they go against tradition.
It felt like a win. For justice, for the people who fought for what was right, maybe a little bit of hope for others in the same situation. But it also makes you think, we've got a long way to go.
Absolutely. This one case, it doesn't solve the whole problem. We need education. We need to change the way people think. It's got to be more than just laws.
This whole thing, it's more than just a sad love story, right? It's a story that makes you look at the world, at yourself even, and ask some tough questions.
Empathy, that's what we need. Understanding, and people speaking out against this kind of stuff, no matter how hard it is.
Love shouldn't be a crime. Happiness shouldn't be a crime. Pawan and Rekha, their story reminds us of that.
They didn't get their happy ending, but maybe, just maybe, their story will make a difference, make people fight for a better world.
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we all have a part to play in fighting for equality, for justice, even when it means going up against traditions that have been around forever.
Pawan and Rekha, their love, it ended tragically. But it also sparked something, a hope for change. A world where love wins, where everyone gets to choose their own path without fear.
So that's the story of the Bhilwara Love Elopement Case.
Hmm.
A story that makes you think, that makes you feel. And hopefully a story that inspires us all to do better.
If you're out there and you're going through something similar, remember, you're not alone. There are people who can help. Don't be afraid to reach out.
And don't forget to follow us, CrimePod Castle. We're on YouTube, too. We'll keep bringing you these stories. Twisted love, obsession, all that good stuff.
Stay safe out there, stay informed, and keep those conversations going.